Welcome back to the Toronto Thunderbirds franchise here on Madden 25. We are still in Season 3, and this may be a really big episode, because I talked about at the end of the last episode that we have the Falcons, Buccaneers, and then the Falcons. Well, after that, we have to play the Buccaneers again, so the next 4 games for us are all divisional matchups. And the reason that is a massive thing is because as of right now, we are number 1 in the NFC South, but we are not that much farther ahead than the Falcons or the Buccaneers. So I want to get through at least 2 games in this episode, maybe 3. And by the end of this episode, we may either have a really good division lead or, have lost our lead completely. But in our very first game today, we get to take on Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons. Penix is a 78 overall quarterback. At running back, they have a 94 in Bijan Robinson. Over at wide receiver is going to be an 80 overall in Jamichael Stanley, an 80 in Darnell Mooney, and a 78 in Jeff Hyde. At tight end, they have an 87 overall in Kyle Pitts. Left tackle will be a 77. Left guard is going to be an 81. Center is going to be an 80. Right guard is a 95, and right tackle is a 74. Over on the defensive side of the ball, they have a 74 overall at left end. At right end is a 76 overall. Defensive tackle is going to be a 75. Outside linebacker is a 77. Middle linebacker is a 75 as well. Right outside linebacker is a 79. At corner is an 80 overall AJ Terrell and an 81 Clark Phillips. Free safety is a 92 in Jesse Bates, and strong safety is a 74 in Jamichael Thompson. Before we get into this week, though, this is the NFL trade deadline, and I think there is one move that I want to make. If you come in here to see the players ready to negotiate, you see safety Kobe Bryant, who is a superstar depth trade, a 76 overall, though at 28 years old. I think I want to try to trade him because our backup safety isn't exactly bad. As you can see on this screen, our backup safety is Braxton Cunningham, a guy we took in the 5th round in the last draft. But he is a 71 overall, not much lower than Kobe Bryant. He has a bit more speed, his awareness is a bit lower, and his play rec is actually a lot lower. That could be a massive problem. But then his zone coverage isn't really much lower than Kobe Bryant's, and I think we could get a decent draft pick for him. On this screen, you can see it says the Colts need a strong safety. If you come over here and look at their safety position, they have Tyler Rowland, who is only a 69 overall. And as of right now, they have the 8th overall pick in the draft. I highly doubt we're going to get anywhere close to getting that for Kobe Bryant. I will submit this. If they take it, this is pretty much just me calling, being like, hey, how about a 1st round pick for Kobe Bryant? Yeah, absolutely not going to happen. What about a 2nd round pick? He is a superstar depth trait. Can we get that done? Not really. Okay, so maybe we don't make this trade because I don't think I really want to trade him for a 3rd round pick. Maybe a 3rd and like a 6th. Can we get that from Indianapolis? I'd be willing to take that for him. And yeah, done deal. Let's send it to the league office and make it official. So now we have an open roster spot where I need to sign a backup strong safety. The guy we're going to bring in is safety Dwayne Sharpton, a 3rd-year safety out of Arkansas State, a 70 overall. He has 89 speed and 78 zone coverage. I wanted to bring in somebody that could at least cover zone a little bit, just in case this move massively backfires on me. I understand Kobe Bryant was really good for us last year, but he wasn't doing a whole lot for us this year, and I wanted to try to see if I get anything for him before he just left in free agency. Now I just really have to hope that that trade does not come back to bite us, but hopefully Braxton Cunningham can play pretty well. But let's go ahead and jump into Week 9 of Season 3. Well, it was not Braxton Cunningham that gets the interception, but our defense does come up big on the very first drive of the game. Atlanta got the ball first, and Dax Hill picks him off at the 14-yard line. Now let's find out if Ben Richardson can take advantage of it. 1st and 10 out of a shotgun set. He's going to send Dylan Kruger in motion, who will go right back to where he was. He drops back and looks to pass. He fires this, and that's going to be caught by Sidney Peters and sets up a gain of about 7 yards down to the 6-yard line. Ben Richardson now lining up under center. Keaton Mitchell is the running back. They go back to him to the outside, and he's going to get met and brought down to set up a 3rd and 1. Richardson back in a shotgun set. Mitchell is still the running back. He's going to send Brian Duvall in motion. He's looking to pass. He's going to the outside, caught by Brian Duvall, and a touchdown for the Thunderbirds. We take advantage of the early turnover. However, later on in the first quarter, after both teams had to punt the ball a couple times, Bijan Robinson gets an 80-yard touchdown, so we're now tied up at 7. Following his big touchdown, though, we have driven down to the Falcons' 2-yard line with a chance to take the lead back. It'll be hand up to Keaton Mitchell, who will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Toronto. We may get 14-7. As we now jump into the Falcons drive, Michael Penix is actually injured, so backup quarterback 66 overall David Schmidt is in the game, and he's going to start this with a handoff that goes nowhere. Now that brings up a 2nd and 10. He's back in a shotgun set from the 16-yard line. He will take the snap and look to pass, goes over the middle, finds his man. That's going to set up a 3rd and 4. Another shotgun set for Atlanta. Can we get the stop here? Schmidt will once again look to pass. He's firing to the outside, finds his guy, and that's going to set up a 1st and goal at the 3. It'll be another shotgun set for the Falcons here. Bijan Robinson still in the backfield. That's where they go with it, up the middle, and he is met and brought down at the 1. He is already over 100 yards today. A lot of that due to an 80-yard rushing touchdown, but now on 2nd and goal. Roll to the outside. He's under pressure, gets away from his man, and finds his guy in the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. But thankfully for us in simulation, Ben Richardson finds Brian Duvall for a 26-yard touchdown. We make it 21-14. As we now jump ahead into the 3rd quarter, we got the ball to start the 2nd half, but unfortunately get intercepted by Isaiah McDuffie, and they take over at the 20-yard line. So let's go ahead and jump in. It does look like backup quarterback David Schmidt is still in the game. He comes out in a shotgun set and throws this to the outside, finds his man for a gain of 6. Now that leads to a 2nd and 4. He's going to line up under center from the 14-yard line. It's a handoff to Bijan Robinson to the outside. He gets the 1st and more all the way down to the 3. Here comes a 1st and goal. He lines up under center. He will drop back and looks to pass. Rolling to the outside, and he will take off. There is a flag down. He walks into the end zone, but I don't think this play is going to stand. It should be a holding on Atlanta. And that is exactly what it was. 1st and goal now from the 13. They go to Bijan Robinson to the outside. He is met and brought down. There is another flag down. Is this going to be another holding call? It absolutely is. That will now move Atlanta all the way back to have a 1st and goal from the 21-yard line. Schmidt is back in shotgun again. We'll drop back and look to pass. Throw this to the outside. That's going to be caught, and he's brought down to the 15. So that brings up a 2nd and goal with a 5-wide set now. He drops back, another quick throw to the outside. That one falls incomplete and brings up a 3rd down. Come on, defense. Let's get off the field here. From the 15-yard line, another 5-wide set. He will drop back and look to pass, needing to go to the end zone. He's under pressure. He goes to the end zone and finds his man. Touchdown, Atlanta. Darnell Mooney comes up with a reception. We now get the jump all the way to the 4th quarter, where it's a 3rd and 5 from the Atlanta 42. We are still all tied up at 21. And Richardson's under pressure, can't get rid of it, and gets sacked on the play to bring up a 4th and 10. Thankfully, our defense was able to force a punt. We get the ball back. It's a 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 30 here. Let's see if we can put together a drive to take the lead. He finds Dylan Kruger to the outside, who has the 1st down, and a lot more. Dylan Kruger all the way down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, Toronto. Now it's going to be a shotgun set. Keaton Mitchell is the running back here. From inside the 1, we give it to the back, and he is brought down in the backfield. A loss of 3 on the play. 2nd and goal from the 4. Richardson back in shotgun. Almost got a man to jump off sides. Hands off to Keaton Mitchell, and that's going nowhere. We have gone from the 1-yard line all the way back to the 6 now. It'll be another shotgun set for Toronto. Most likely a passing play here, as Richardson will look to go to the end zone, rolls to the outside, and he's going to take off, and Ben Richardson walks in. Touchdown, Thunderbirds. With 2:49 to go in the game, Michael Penix has checked back in at quarterback here, but it's a 3rd and 17. He's going to throw this towards the sideline, caught by his man, and forced out to bring up a 4th and 11. Now, with all 3 timeouts, do they line up and actually punt it? Yes, they will. So they're going to count on their defense to get them the ball back. Let's see where we're going to be taking over on offense, though. The punt is sent deep, and we're going to field that at about the 25-yard line across the 30 and get met and brought down to the 33. There is now 2:36 remaining in the game. We just need to hold on to our lead. He's going to send Dylan Kruger in motion, who will line up at receiver here. Richardson will look to pass. A quick throw will be caught by Kruger, his favorite target this season, for the 1st down. And that play would take us all the way down to the 2-minute warning. Now we come out with a handoff to Keaton Mitchell, who goes to the outside for a gain of about 3 yards, and Atlanta burns their 1st time out. 1:57 remaining in the game. Richardson back in shotgun. I imagine this play is going right to Keaton Mitchell again, and it is. Trying to follow his blocks to the outside, gets away from one man, but is brought down for no gain. Atlanta burns their 2nd timeout. Now just 1:52 remaining in regulation. From under center, we give it to Keaton Mitchell to the outside for the 1st down, and Toronto will get out of here with a victory as Atlanta burns their final timeout. We improved to 4-5 on the season with a solid win over the Falcons. Granted, they did not have their starting quarterback most of the game, but I felt like David Schmidt played a lot better than Michael Penix was playing. And we will be able to check stats on that here in a little bit, but Ben Richardson goes 19 for 22, an 86% completion percentage today for 251 yards, 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, did throw 1 interception. Running the ball, Keaton Mitchell got 25 carries, which is really odd for Madden Simulation, but I will take it for 82 yards and a touchdown. Ben Richardson also ran in for eventually the game-winning touchdown. Receiving, Brian Duvall 8 for 104 and 2 scores. Dylan Kruger 6 for 93. Both of them had very, very solid days. It looks like our defensive captain and starting middle linebacker Tracy Wilcox led the team in tackles with a total of 9. We got 0 sacks today, which is a problem, and we got 1 interception from Dax Hill on the very first drive of the game. Yeah, I don't know how realistic it really was that they put Michael Penix back in, because David Schmidt went 13 for 19, 117, and 2 touchdowns. Michael Penix 2 of 8 for 16 yards and a pick. He clearly did not have a very good day. I don't know if I would have pulled this kid with how hot he was playing. Running the ball, Bijan Robinson, 131 yards and a score, and then receiving, Darnell Mooney, easily their best receiver, 7 catches for 76 yards and a score. Alright, we got the very first win to kick off this episode, but now we see that Tampa Bay also lost another game, so they are now 2-7, and second place is now the New Orleans Saints in our division. We have defeated the Saints once already this season. We beat them 26-20 back in week 1, and we do not play them again all the way down until week number 16. Obviously, these games are still very, very crucial because they are not too far behind us, but the Saints are now in second place is the whole point of this. As we go into our next game, we get Brian Sheehan as the starting quarterback for the Buccaneers, who was an 82 overall. At running back is an 82 in Tank Bigsby. Over at wide receiver is an 86 Quentin Johnson, an 82 Rondell Moore, and a 78 in Timmy McKee. Over at tight ends, an 81 K. Dotton. Left tackle is a 97 Tristan Wirfs. Left guard's a 76. Center is going to be an 84. Right guard's an 83, and right tackle is an 81. Over on defense, they have a 74 overall at left end. Right end's an 89 Derek Brown. Defensive tackle is an 87 Vita Vea. Outside linebacker is a 78. Middle linebacker is an 84. Right outside linebacker is an 83. At corner, they have 2 83 overalls in Zion McCollum and Jamel Dean, along with an 82 in Andrew Russell. Free safety is a 95 Antoine Winfield, and strong safety is an 80 in Tyke Smith. We are going to be on the road for this one, and overall wise, Tampa Bay is actually rated higher than us. They are an 87 overall, we are an 86 overall, so let's see how this game goes. Tampa Bay would get the ball first, and Brian Sheehan has driven them all the way down to the Toronto 27-yard line, where they face a 3rd and 5 going downfield that'll be caught for the first down. So now inside the red zone. He will take the snap. It's a handoff to Tank Bigsby to the outside, who runs into his own blockers and is brought down. There is a flag down, and it looks like it may be a holding on Tampa. That will move them back all the way to the 27-yard line, where Sheehan will drop back under pressure from a blitz, and that one's going to fall incomplete. I believe that was defensive back Jaleel Torrance bringing the pressure. Now a 2nd and 20 from the 27-yard line still. Back in a shotgun set again. Tank Bigsby is the running back. I'm going to call him Tanks Bigsby probably the entire game. Sheehan will drop back, and a quick throw will be caught underneath, and he's going to turn that into a solid gain to set up a 3rd and 6 for a gain of 14. Apparently, no one on our defense was ready for an underneath route, so a 3rd down from the 13-yard line. Sheehan back in shotgun will send a man in motion. This receiver will line up on the other side of the line. He will now drop back and look for a quick pass. And he's rolling to the outside, hits as he's throwing, and that one will fall incomplete. Tampa Bay would make that field goal, so now it's a 2nd and 2 on Toronto's next drive at the Tampa Bay 22. He's going to send a man in motion. He will line up on the other side of the line. Richardson takes the snap, and a quick throw will be caught, and that is Antoine Edmonds, our backup side in, for the first down to the 14-yard line. Now with no one else in the backfield, Richardson's going to line up under center. This is a really weird formation, but he sends a man in motion. Now he'll take the snap and look to pass. A quick throw caught by Keaton Mitchell, who's going to turn that into a solid gain and set up 2nd and inches at the 5-yard line. Richardson back in a shotgun set again. Keaton Mitchell still lined up in the backfield this time. Do we go to him? No, we don't. We're going to pass to the outside. Caught by Kruger, his favorite target, into the end zone. Touchdown, Toronto. The Thunderbirds defense would force a punt, and now we face a 3rd and 10 on the following drive at the Tampa Bay 37-yard line. We are well within field goal range for kicker Glenn Griffin in case we don't get anything here. He throws to the outside. That'll be caught by Jamison Williams and sets up a 4th and 6 at the 32. But now we'll see if our kicker can make a 49-yard try. Glenn Griffin comes out to try to give us a 7-point lead. The snap, the hold, the kick is away, and this one will be good. We're going to jump into the last minute here of the first half as Ben Richardson's under a lot of pressure, throws on the run, finds his man for the first down. We burn our first time out with 44 seconds to go in the half. Really not a lot has been going on in simulation in this. It's obviously still 10-3. Now a quick throw caught by Brian Duvall is going to be a gain of just a few yards. Do we burn a timeout here? Yes, we will, with 36 seconds to go. That brings up a 2nd and 6 from the 18-yard line. Ben Richardson out of shotgun will drop back to pass. He's going to throw this to the outside, caught by Jamison Williams, who was brought down. Did he stay in bounds with that? He absolutely did. Now with 5 seconds to go, I really wish he had ducked out of bounds. He, for some reason, stayed in, got brought down in bounds, and we have ran the clock down to 4 seconds. We could have had a chance for a touchdown, but we'll send out Glenn Griffin to try to give us a 10-point lead. The snap, the hold, the kick is away, and it is good. We would get the ball to start the second half, but unfortunately, we got picked off on the drive by Andrew Russell, so I guess now we're going to see if Tampa Bay can do anything with this. A couple plays later, it's a 3rd and 2. She hands back in shotgun. He'll send a man in motion. Now he'll drop back, and a quick throw is going to fall incomplete. Now, will they go for it or punt this one away? And surprisingly, they're lining up for a punt. If they fake this, it wouldn't shock me, but they actually will just punt this one away. That's a weird decision. You know, maybe it's not so weird because on our drive in simulation, on a 3rd and 1, Ben Richardson gets picked off by Ernest Jones and they take over the 35. A couple plays following that, they have a 3rd and 5 from the 29 now, so they manage to move the ball a little bit forward. Sheehan will drop back to the pass, going over the middle, and that gets deflected down by Austin Acosta. But it will bring out their field goal kicker for about a 46-yard try now to try to make this a 1-score game. The kick is away, and it is good. Quarterback Ben Richardson has managed to not throw an interception on this drive, but it is a 3rd and 13. Can we convert and keep the drive moving? He's going to go deep downfield. He has a man, and that is Jamison Williams, who is gone. Touchdown, Toronto. Glad I jumped in on that one. We will now head into the 4th quarter of this game. Still a 14-point game. It's a 2nd and goal from the 5 for Tampa. He throws to the outside, that is caught, who is immediately brought down for no gain by Dax Hill. 3rd and goal from the 5. He comes out with a 5-wide set. He is all alone in the backfield. Sheehan will take the snap. A quick throw to the end zone and a wide open man. Touchdown to Quentin Johnston. However, Ben Richardson is now looking to respond. We are driven all the way down to the 15-yard line, where it's a 1st and 10. Handoff to Keaton Mitchell, who goes to the outside. Now tries to cut upfield. There is a flag down. Is this going to be a holding on Toronto? Yes, it is. So now make it a 1st and 18 from the 22 for the Thunderbirds. Richardson back in shotgun, will drop back and look to pass. He throws this to the outside, that is caught, and that'll set up a 2nd and 11 at the 16. Down to 8.5 minutes to go in the game. We just need to take care of the ball and at least come away with a field goal for this drive. We'll give this one to Keaton Mitchell, who goes up the middle, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 7. And now that's going to bring out a 5-wide set for Toronto. Richardson all alone in the backfield. Will drop back and look to pass. He's got a man wide open. I don't know why he didn't take the throw. Oh, because he's going to take off and dive in himself. Touchdown, Thunderbirds. I'm sorry I questioned you. With under 6 minutes to go in the game, Brian Sheehan faces a 3rd and 12 from the 43. He's going to send a man in motion. He now takes the snap and looks to pass. Driving farther back, he's going to go deep downfield. That one will be knocked away, and they should punt this one away. Actually, I guess we'll figure out if they're going to or not. And no, obviously that makes sense. They're down by 2 scores. 5:47 to go. Can we force a turnover on downs here? Sheehan out of shotgun will drop back, and he's going to go deep again, and this time a wide open man. No one on him. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. What the hell happened to the defense? And I just assumed they would kick the extra point, so I went back into simulating, and they apparently went for 2 and did not get it. So it's now an 8-point game. That decision could honestly be massive because now they need the ball back, a touchdown and a 2-point try to tie the game up. On 3rd and 3 from the 37, Richardson will drop back. He's going to fire and find Dylan Kruger to keep this drive alive. Going back into simulation, Zion McCullum makes a massive mistake. It says 15-yard penalty, but that's a lot more than 15, so I imagine it was a pass interference that moves us down to the 27. A few plays later, we are down to the 8-yard line for a 1st and goal. Tampa Bay is down to 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning. Richardson looking to pass, running to the outside, throws to the end zone, and missing a wide open Sidney Peters. That will stop the clock for the Buccaneers now. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Richardson's going to line up under center. Keaton Mitchell is the running back. He'll drop back and looks to pass. He's going to the back corner and gets intercepted. What are we doing? Interception number 3 on the day for our quarterback. So with 2:03 to go and a timeout, now Tampa Bay is very much alive in this game. Brian Sheehan's back in shotgun. Will take the snap and looks to pass here on the 1st down. And he's going to find a man over the middle for a gain of a few yards. And that will take us down to 1:59. 2nd and 3. Sheehan will draw back to pass again, going downfield, and he finds his man for the 1st down to the 37. They are not burning that final timeout just yet. Under a minute and a half to play. And he's going over the middle again, finds his man. That one will fall incomplete. Knocked out of the hands of Cade Otton. 1:25 remaining from the 37-yard line. He will take the snap and looks to pass again. He's going to go downfield. He finds his man. That's Rondale Moore, who has given us problems. 6 catches for 106 yards. Now into Toronto territory. About 1:05 to play here in regulation. He's under pressure, and he's going to get a massive sack on the play. It's Jamarcus Norwood back to the 40. They do not burn that timeout, though. 40 seconds to go in the game. Sheehan will drop back and look to pass again under a lot of pressure and getting sacked again back at the 38 this time, and they will finally burn that last timeout. That was absolutely amazing of the D-line to show up on that. Now 3rd and 26 from the 38-yard line. A quick throw underneath caught by his man, and that's going to set up a 4th and 15 with about 20 seconds to go now after they get set. From the 49, the game comes down to this. He throws this to the outside. That'll be caught, but nowhere near the marker. That's a turnover on downs, and we get out of here with a win. We have now improved to 5-5 on the year with back-to-back divisional wins. Obviously, some great wins for us. Puts us in a really good spot in the divisional standings. Ben Richardson had a very interesting day. 29 of 40 for 347 yards and 2 touchdowns, which looks pretty solid until you see the 3 interceptions he threw. Running the ball, Keaton Mitchell got 64 yards on 19 carries, and Ben Richardson ran in for 1. Receiving, Dylan Kruger 9 for 109 and a score, and Jamison Williams got a touchdown on a huge play that we actually got to see. It would appear that Tracy Wilcox once again leads the team in tackles with a total of 9 and sacks. Jamarcus Norwood got 2.5, and Tony George, our rookie, got half of 1, and we got no interceptions. Brian Sheehan honestly played pretty well. 27 of 43 for 272 and 2 touchdowns on the ground. They did not run the ball a whole lot. And then receiving, their best one was Rondale Moore, 6 for 106 and a score, and Quentin Johnson also came away with a touchdown. We are going to get one more game in this episode just because I don't want next episode to only end up being 2 games, and it's the exact same 2 opponents that we just played. So we will be going into this game in Week 11 against the Falcons. I really don't feel like there is any need to go over their roster since we already went over it in this episode. But I will say that the Saints just had their bye week in Week 10, so right now we are 2 games above the Saints because they are sitting at 3-6. We're obviously 5-5. And if we could win this to get back to a winning record, that would be amazing. But we do have to go on the road to take on Atlanta this time, so let's go ahead and jump into Week 11 and see if we can keep this winning streak alive. We'll jump into Toronto's very first drive of the game. It's a 3rd and 2 from the Falcons 35. Richardson out of shotgun, looking to keep the drive moving. Going downfield, will miss an open Sidney Peters to lead to a 4th down. And I honestly expected us to maybe go for this, but I guess not. We send out Glenn Griffin for a 52-yard try. The kick is away, and we should have a 3-point lead. Our defense forces a 3-and-out in simulation, so we get the ball back and have driven down to the 17-yard line, where we will jump in on 1st and 10. He finds Jamison Williams, and that'll get us down to the 10-yard line for a 2nd and 3. We'll come back in a shotgun set again. Keaton Mitchell still in the backfield. Richardson will look to pass. Going to the outside. That'll be caught, and that is a 1st down. No, they rule him inches shy. I believe it was Sidney Peters on that reception. It was a pretty tough catch that time. But now 3rd down from the 7. Need less than a yard. We'll send a man in motion. Richardson will look to pass, but he's going to find Brian Duvall on the outside and will fight his way into the end zone. Touchdown Toronto. We'll go up 10-0. Michael Penix and the Falcons have finally managed to put together a drive here into the 2nd quarter. It's a 3rd and 10. From the Toronto 30, looking to keep this drive alive. Penix is going to go downfield. He finds his man for the 1st down all the way down to the 14. I had a feeling the Falcons were not going to go out quietly in this game. 1st and 10. He'll take the snap, hand off to Bijan Robinson, who goes up the middle, and that'll be a solid 6-yard gain. Now it's going to be a 2nd and 4 from the 9-yard line. Penix lines up under center. Bijan's still in the backfield this time. They'll take the snap. They give it to Robinson to the outside, who is stood up and brought down by Zach Sealer. That sets up a 3rd and 6, now at the 11-yard line. Out of a shotgun set, he will take the snap and look to pass. Stay in the pocket, now rolling to the outside, throws on the run, and that one's going to get intercepted. He just takes a knee in the end zone. I believe that is Dax Hill. On the ensuing drive from the turnover, we have gotten down to the 44. It's a 3rd and 3. He'll take the snap. It's a handoff to Keaton Mitchell, and we'll keep this drive moving with the first down as he spins on a defender and gets all the way to the 34. We're going to go ahead and stay in on this drive and see if we do anything crazy. 1st and 10 out of a shotgun set. Richardson will look to pass, going deep over the middle, and that one's going to fall incomplete, trying to find Jameson Williams. But it leads to a 2nd and 10 instead. From the 34, and we're going to give this one to Keaton Mitchell, who goes to the outside. He'll get met and brought down to set up a 3rd and 8 for the Thunderbirds. This is still going to be field goal range for Glenn Griffin if we get nothing else. 3rd and 8. From the 32-yard line, Richardson looking to keep the drive alive. We'll throw this to the outside in a jumping reception, but Jameson Williams nowhere near inbounds. And we will send out Glenn Griffin for about a 39 or a 49-yard try, actually, to try to give ourselves a 13-0 lead. Snap, hold, kick is away, and the kick is good. The Falcons' next drive not going so well. It's a 3rd and 19, a possible 3 now. We'll see if our defense can get off the field here. They're going down the middle, and he finds his man for the first down. That's Kyle Pitts all the way down to the 50. That was not exactly what I had in mind when I jumped in on the drive, but now a few plays later, it's a 3rd and 2 from the 31. Can we get them off the field here? There is a flag. He is a wide open man for the first down, but I think this play is going to be coming back, and they should be facing a 3rd and 12, holding on Atlanta. That will move them back to the 41-yard line. He's going to send a man in motion. It's Kyle Pitts who now lines up at receiver. Penix will drop back under pressure, going deep downfield, has a wide open man. What is our defense doing? That will set up a 1st and goal from the 9. Out of a shotgun set, dropping back to pass, rolling to the outside. Penix trying to buy some time. He's going to take off, and Atlanta will finally get on the board today. Touchdown Falcons. And just because I want to see if we can run a 1.5-minute offense here. 1:38 to go from our own 30-yard line. A quick throw over the middle finds Sidney Peters, and this is a great start to the drive into Falcons territory all the way down to the 39. We do have all 3 timeouts. It's a 1st and 10. Richardson will drop back and look to pass, going downfield again. He's got a man, and that is going to be Brian Duvall down to the 25. We would burn our very first timeout with 59 seconds to go here in the first half. Now Richardson will drop back, a quick throw caught by Keaton Mitchell, and that's going to set us up at the 16-yard line. Will we burn another timeout? No, we will not. We're running all the way down to 22 seconds to go in the half. From the 16-yard line, out of a shotgun set, the clock is still running. Richardson will drop back and look to pass. He's firing over the middle. That one will fall incomplete and lead to a 3rd and 2. It will be another shotgun set for Toronto. Looks like Dylan Kruger is lined up in the slot, but we go to the outside, caught by Jameson Williams, and we burn a timeout at the 7-yard line with 11 seconds to go on a 1st and goal. Probably only 1 or 2 more plays possibly before we just settle for a field goal. Richardson out of shotgun will drop back and look to pass. A quick throw to the outside, caught by Duvall, and he is going to fight his way down inside the 1, and we will burn our final timeout of the half. And yeah, we're just going to settle for the field goal. Brian Duvall got so close to making it 20-7, but instead we will send out Glenn Griffin for a very short field goal try. The kick is away, and it is good. The Toronto Thunderbirds would get the ball to start the second half, face a 3rd and 6 at the Falcons' 48 on the first drive. He will drop back and look to pass. He's going to go deep downfield, and he has a man. That's Sidney Peters all the way down to the 14. A great throw from our quarterback that time moves us inside the red zone. Now we come out in a shotgun set. Richardson will look to pass again. Never mind, it's a QB draw, I guess. Whatever. It was not a very pretty looking play. A loss of 10. Whatever that was, a QB draw, an option run. Let's just take it out of the playbook. 2nd and 20. Handoff to Keaton Mitchell, who goes to the outside and sets up a 3rd and 17. From the 21-yard line, out of a shotgun set, looking to convert on this 3rd and long. Richardson rolling to the outside, and he's going to get sacked on the play to bring up a 4th and 22. Now, for the, I believe, 3rd time today, we send out Glenn Griffin. This is about a 43-yard try, and it is good to make it 19-7. Atlanta looking to make this a 1-score game. It's a 2nd and 3 from the 15. Handoff to Bijan Robinson, but he is met and brought down in the backfield. A great play, I believe, from Jaleel Torrance. That is our slot corner. It is amazing he was able to come up and make that play. But now on 3rd down from the 18. No one else in the backfield, so Penix will look to pass. Stay in the pocket. He's going downfield to a wide open man and a touchdown for Atlanta. We now jump into the fourth quarter. It's still a 5-point game. About 8 minutes to go. It's a 3rd and 4 for Toronto. Both teams have traded each a punt. So now from the 37, looking to keep the drive moving. Going downfield, he finds Brian Duvall for the first down. This is very clearly a massive drive for both teams. From the 46, back in a shotgun set, he sends Dylan Kruger in motion. Richardson will take the snap and looks to pass. He's going to fire this to the outside, caught by our running back Keaton Mitchell, who will get met and brought down for a gain of 2. Now under 7 minutes to play. Richardson's going to line up under center. Keaton Mitchell's in the backfield. From the 48-yard line, we fake it to him. Richardson maybe looking to go deep downfield. He will just dump it off to Dylan Kruger, who will break a tackle, get the first down, and get brought down to the Falcons' 40-yard line. Continuing to chew away at the clock here. Out of a shotgun set, it's a fake to Mitchell. Now going over the middle, and that one will fall incomplete. A very risky throw. That brings up a 2nd and 10 from about the 40 now. And a shotgun set, he's going to send Kruger in motion, who is going to go right back to where he started. Now he takes a step, a quick throw downfield. He finds Jameson Williams off the RPO. He will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Toronto. Down by 12. They are going to go for it on a 4th and 13 from the 27-yard line. Going downfield, tipped in the air, nearly intercepted, and it falls incomplete. We actually would have lost field position had one of y'all caught that. A touchdown on this drive will officially wrap this game up. Richardson with a quick throw over the middle will be caught by Jameson Williams. That's a gain of about 5 yards. Brings up a 2nd down from the 22. Keaton Mitchell lined up in the backfield. Richardson will take the snap and fake it to him. Now he's going to throw deep downfield and get intercepted. Why did you take that big of a risk? And he's brought down to the 7-yard line. 4:35 to go. He went for the win. Obviously, it backfired. Now Atlanta has driven all the way down to the 31-yard line. Still have all 3 timeouts here. And now he's going downfield to find his man, who is brought down to the 15. They burned that first one with 1:42 to go. Obviously, the Falcons would need a complete miracle here. A touchdown and the onside kick now. Penix will draw back and look to pass, going downfield, and that bounces off of his man's head. 2nd and 10 from the 15. Penix takes the snap, runs a play fake. Now going to go downfield. We'll throw this one to the end zone, and that is dropped by a wide open Kyle Pitts. 3rd and 10 at the 15-yard line. Penix will take the snap and look to pass, going to the end zone. A wide open man and a touchdown for Atlanta. With 1:30 to go and 2 timeouts, they will come out for the onside kick. The kick is away, and it is recovered by Toronto, I believe by Antoine Edmonds, our backup tight end. With 1:29 remaining here. Richardson comes out under center. Keaton Mitchell is the running back, and that's where we go with it. Up the middle, who is met and brought down immediately as Atlanta burns the 2nd timeout. 1:26 from the 49-yard line here. Goes under center. We go back, and that's going to be Nick Chubb up the middle to set up a 3rd and 5. And we have an injury because we just burned a timeout. Really? Just hobble off the field. 3rd and 5 from the 44. Atlanta gets to save that final timeout. It's going to be a play fake. Richardson going downfield, finds his man, Jameson Williams, for the first down, and we will get out of here with a win. So that is now 3 straight wins in division. We have a winning record at 6-5, and we have matched our franchise record for most wins in a season because we're only a 3-year-old franchise, and we won 6 games last year where we went 6-10-1. But this season has really turned around. At one point, it was looking really, really bad. We started 2-4, are now 6-5. I am really happy with the way this team is playing. Obviously, there's some mistakes that still need to be cleared up, like our quarterback trying to go for the end zone there in the last few minutes and giving them a chance, but whatever, we get the win. And speaking of Ben Richardson, he goes 24 of 34 for 329, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Running the ball, Keaton Mitchell goes for 70 yards on 17 carries. Receiving, Jameson Williams 9 for 137 and a touchdown. Brian Duvall 5 for 49 and a score. And Dylan Kruger 5 for 65. Lyle Blue, our rookie safety, actually led the team in tackles today with a total of 8. We only got 2 sacks, 1 from Austin Acosta, 1 from Zach Harrison, and we got 1 interception from Dax Hill. We actually got to watch. Michael Penix actually got to play the entire game this time, goes 20 for 35, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Bijan Robinson 64 yards on 22 carries, and then Penix ran in for a touchdown. And receiving, Jeff Hyde 5 for 79 and a score, and Michael Stanley got a touchdown. Moving on to our next game, we will get to take on the 3-8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we have already defeated in this episode, as you saw, but we will be picking this up in the next episode. The one thing I want to show you is the Saints ended up losing to Tampa Bay in this week, so we now have a 3-game lead in the division, which is very clearly massive, especially this late in the year. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and in the next one, we will pick up in Week 12 and hopefully get at least a couple games done.